Right, when I left you last time, I was lefting you doing this flap where my video cut out. And what you did, you had your piece of 6x9 that you scored at 1/2 inch on one each side, 1/2 inch across one long side and 1 inch across one long side. You had to put in your 2 1/2 inches, fold them in like that on both sides, which I've made a mistake there, and then your top flap, your inch, you glued that down so that you're left with your 1/2 inch piece here. Now this is where that goes, which is your flap there. So you need to put that 1/2 inch, tape it along there, and you stick it level, making sure that all your here is level onto your edges, yeah, and across the top, and that makes your flap. Okay, so I was also trying to explain on my book that I've shown you in the main book, I've got magnets on this, but on reflection I don't think you should use magnets, because you're going to be filling this with stuff, and then as the flaps are going, which is one reason why I made the flap quite a bit long, is where as the flaps and the stuff finishes, your magnets are going to run away from one another. So I think the best idea is to do it with a button tie, which I'll show you a couple of different ways when we come to decorate it, but I wouldn't bother with magnets, to be honest. That's my feeling anyway. Also, I was making the first page with the pocket, and I'll show you how to do this. There's 2 pages altogether, so you need 2 pieces of card, one 8.5 by 8.5, and one 7.5 by 8.5. Now on your first bit, you need to put your 8.5 piece at the top, your 8.5 piece at the top, and score down 1 inch. On your 8.5 by 8.5, you score down 1 inch on one side, and 1/2 inch on 2 opposite sides. Oh, you can see I'm not up with it all, can't you? Right, so then you take off the smidgen, like so. Just that, like that. And you fold in your now, can you see I'm going to have, can you see that there? I'm going to have a little edge, so I just need to trim that off, because you don't need that. Right, so that gets stuck down. I think I need to go back to bed. That gets stuck down. You then need to fold in your 2 side pieces. Now that is the back of your pocket for your page. Now this one, so you need to have your 8.5 at the top, score down 1 inch to make your reinforcement piece for your pocket page. So that now becomes folded in on that. And then what you do, you make sure your two pocket pieces are at the same side. I hope you've understood this and I haven't been too waffly. I don't think the morphine is helping me much, to be honest. Drugs. Now I would be sort of a bit extra special with these bits. I would put some extra, but you can put, which I will do. Yeah. Hang on. Oh, go on, I'll cut it out. Okay, okay. Anyway, take one side off. And again, making sure your two pocket pieces are reinforced are side by side. And then join this up. Making sure those two edges are bang on there. And that makes one side of your pocket. So if you make sure these two edges, the part of where your pocket is going to be, are straight, if that's a little bit out, it really doesn't matter, because believe you me, no matter how many times you measure and do stuff, you always can be slightly out sometimes. So if you just make sure that where you want it to be straight, it is straight. Right, like this. This is your pocket, that's your front pieces. So I make sure that I'm right on edge with that, run that along, and make sure that's fitted, which it has. So just give it a good there, and then now you can see where that page has run out a little bit. Can you see that? But that doesn't matter. I mean, you don't even have to trim it off really, because you're not going to see it, but I will just to show you the smidgen it is. It's literally that little tiny piece, look, which can happen. But there you go, that's your pocket. Now that makes your pocket, and that reinforcement, by doing that, you've got a nice reinforced, it doesn't go dog-eared or anything. I'm going to be doing this on the rest of my books actually, because it does, that little bit extra does make it look, and it makes it look a little bit more professional, I think. Right, as you can see, I put one page in, part of the other video. I've got glue everywhere on this, I don't know why. When you first make your spine, if you put your tape on either side of your piece for holding it, it makes it easier than trying to do it like this. So when you put your tape on, you make sure that you don't put it right to the bottom, put it more to the top, like so, because you don't, your page isn't going to be right down the bottom, and you don't want a bit of sticky hanging out to catch on things. It does make it easier if this is put on before it goes in. So oh, shut up, that bird. Drives me nuts. Right, so you need that and motorbikes. So you need to give that a good scrunch down. and take it off both sides. Put yourself a little bit of glue across that tape, which will give you some wiggle room because you possibly need it. Plus it gives you that little bit extra gluing as well. Now you've got your, I hope you're getting all this, I'm going away at it. Right, so you've got your page like so. Put your hand in the middle, drop it over your spine, over your bit that's sticking up, and don't put it right to the bottom. Just needs to go there. Can you see? Which is why, can you see that? Goes just there, so you leave that little gap, and that is so that your pages free. They don't, if they were right down the bottom, it wouldn't, they wouldn't fold over as neat as that. So you just need, that glue will clear, go dry clear. So your pages, there's your, both of your pages in your book. Now you've done your pocket, your flap, and your 2 pages. Now on this back piece, I would put a piece of, I haven't got a bit big enough, but I would put a piece of blue on there before, because this isn't going to have a cover much on it, only like a pocket. So I would cut a piece of blue, or, I mean, if you want to do a contrast, actually that would be nice, I might do that, a contrast page on there before you put your pattern paper down. That's your choice, but that will come in the next, I'll do that in a minute as I'm going along. But for now, that's as much as I'm doing for this minute, because I need to take a break.